Well, this is certainly the strangest year that I've ever encountered regarding weather. We seem to get late frosts, followed by storms, followed by gusting winds, and now temperatures going over 100 Fahrenheit. And because the weather's not normal, plant growth is also not normal. The wind's back as well today as this heat, as if that's not bad enough. And now it's starting to batter more of those potato plants that are quite tall. We've just spent months growing and standing back up and trying to protect with string to keep them upright. And just when you think it's gone, it's back. So you can see that wind's been having a field day with these plants. On top of really high temperatures. It's a recipe for disaster, basically. The plants were already stressed and drying out quicker than they should do. And on top of that, once again, they're getting battered by these winds. And these are main crops. We shouldn't even be harvesting these until end of August, beginning of September. But I can't see them lasting that long. Too much damage. So once again, we're battling those elements. 103 degrees and wind. And as we know, wind dries plants out just as much as heat. Apart from the fact that when the plants are at their hottest and most weakest point, it's not going to take much of a wind to start knocking them flat. Like these. These basically died. Question is though, why? They're in containers. They've been kept out of the sun when it were too extreme and away from wind. And we even put in supports, poles and frames to hold these plants up. But they still look worse for wear. And I just don't think that this plant has got it in it to recover. It's too far gone. Way too far gone. There's this on parts of the plant. And then there's some nice green foliage. But even that is starting to get holes in it and turn brown. So I think we might as well just harvest this container, get it out of the way and move on. And maybe we'll spot something, some kind of a clue as to why a main crop potato has already decided to die back in July. Let's have a look. So now we've took that frame away, the plants are just falling over. So let's go and get the barrow, see if we've actually got anything for it. Well, to start off, we will cut this foliage away. So let's just tip it out, see what happens. If it'll come out. Well, at first glance, I can't see a single potato. Let's just dig in and hope we've got something. I'm assuming that'll be the seed potato. I hope so anyway, because it's soft. looks like we've got a few, which is a relief. I didn't think we were going to get any, to be honest. So at this stage, I'll take whatever I can get. That is a seed potato as well. But that's not. We'll get rid of some of this compost as we're going through. That's another seed potato. That's a proper potato. Now that's more like it, even though it does look like a snowman. It's a good sized potato and it's clean. Just set these aside as we go through. Some more nice big ones. And another really good sized one. Another seed potato. So that's about 4 seed potatoes we had in here. Let's keep digging. Well, we're not done yet. No, that's a massive potato. That's what we want to see. Another seed. That's gone all soft. So I'm hoping that's a seed as well. I don't think this is a seed potato. I wouldn't have put that many in such a small container. So I think some of these potatoes are actually going mushy. And that could be down to bad drainage. They've got too wet for too long. But it's certainly not edible. But these are. Yeah, that is definitely a seed potato because it's completely gone to mush. So their mothers, unfortunately, these weren't seed potatoes. They've just started to rot. Another good one. It looks like that's it. But that is not a bad result, especially when you're getting potatoes of that size. We've lost a couple, but we've kept the majority. That's got a bit of a split in it, but we can peel that and just keep the good part that's left. Let's give these away, see what we got. We got all these in a bag. That's the biggest one this year. So we're on pounds, we're on 0. Let's do it. Well, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. £3.98. That's not a bad result. Well, now I definitely am warm. But also relieved now we've emptied that container and got quite a good harvest out of it. Virtually £4 of potatoes, but more importantly some really big ones, and that's what we're looking for on main crops. Big potatoes for chips, baking potatoes, mashed potatoes, roast potatoes. But there's also that question of why 3 or 4 of them had gone mushy. When you pressed them, they were soft. So they're definitely no good. So, is it overwatering? Is it bad drainage? Is it something to do with the unsettled weather we've been having since these ones were planted in that container, that just escaped the frost, but then were battered by heavy rains, and then once they came out, they was battered constantly by wind, and then hot days, cool days, more rain, and now temperatures going from 70 degrees to 103. I think it's just a mixture of everything this year that's causing plants to not exactly do what they should do. Because as I said, these are main crops. You shouldn't be harvesting these until the end of August, mid-September. But it's a good job we did empty that container. Now we've just realised that 3 or 4 of them were starting to go soft. Because if we would have left it, that could have happened to them all. And although we haven't actually reached a definite conclusion as to what's happening with these main crop potatoes, especially those in the bed that are starting to follow that same pattern, but once again today are now getting battered by more wind, while at the same time being dried out by such high temperatures. We don't know what the outcome of those are going to be, but at least for now, £4 of clean potatoes out of a little container is enough for me. And as I keep saying, if you want to weigh your harvests as well, so you can monitor what you're getting per pot, if you've done them the same way that I've done them, you can always get one of these scales from a link in description. But the end result of this is, at least we've got something. So that's all that matters. We've got something instead of nothing. And it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that raised bed that are all now starting to fall over, since I know I've put 28 seed potatoes in that bed just to see what would happen. Will we get a lot of medium-sized ones, a few big ones, or lots of little ones? We won't know till we empty it. So if you do want to see what comes out of that bed when we get round to harvesting, please just hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and we'll see you next time.